princess coming in hot, and I'm not gonna let her. If she says some shit, I don't know if I'm gonna give her the silent treatment or not. I don't know if I can keep it up. Ugh. The princess stood there. She somehow looked. I already read that. Okay. The princess's head snapped towards the attentive onlookers. A single flick of her fingers sent them scattering like frightened flies, leaving the garden completely empty except from the two of them. Damiano, you are too pretty to be acting this way. Don't do this. You heard the announcement? I did. Oh, she's so cute. And do you have anything to say? No. No objections? Who am I to say anything? This is the hero's decision. Shizu expected to see a self-satisfied look on the princess's face. Instead, the pale young woman looked even more vexed. Yeah, because we're not playing into your bullshit. I'll ask you again. Why are you still here? Why should I tell you? I don't have to tell you shit. Why am I obligated to tell you? Stop asking. Why so evasive? Are you embarrassed? Could it be you like him? You think that if you hang around long enough, you'll eventually catch his eye. Don't make me laugh. No, that's not it. I just want to watch out for him, that's all. Watch out for him? What are you trying to protect him against? Yeah, that's why you're mad, because you're trying to harm him, and then we're here trying to put a stop to it. What are you even capable of protecting him against? There are many people in the capital that don't have his best interest in mind. To be frank, I'm not sure that you have his interest at heart either, princess. Oh, I understand you now. The title of hero is a difficult responsibility to bear. I can understand. As a member of the royal family, I often struggle with my own duties. The hero is a delicate position, not in some ways more than ever. He'll be surrounded by an entourage of people trying to leech off of his own accomplishments, people trying to use his power and reputation for themselves. The princess gave an exaggerated curtsy. Please allow me to apologize for my previous rudeness. I assumed you were the same, and I made unfounded and false claims about your character. I was wrong. You're even more foul. Yeah, I knew that was coming. You're an even more foul kind of parasite, since you're blind to what you are. Pardon me? You think of yourself as some sort of noble guardian, don't you? Oh, shit. Okay, relax. Looking after the boy that used to be too little to protect himself. But that's not what you truly are. You're a girl who came from nothing, who thought she would be nothing. I'm sure that when the hero's powers manifested, you were ecstatic. No. At the moment, you knew you weren't a mere weed alongside of the road. You were going to be the hero's sentinel. You finally found a purpose of your small, insignificant life. That's not true. You tell yourself all sorts of lies, I'm sure. You're the only one who's looking out for him. You're the only one who's actually on his side. You're the one who really understands him. But do you understand him? How could you? He has a position and a calling that you could never comprehend. He carries the entire kingdom on his shoulders. And what about you? You could disappear right this instant, and I doubt anyone would even notice you were gone. Liam would notice! There are countless people who will try to take advantage of the hero in all sorts of nefarious ways. Again, where's the speech for Liam? Dog. Like, I know that we grew up with him, so that's a bit different, and that's fair, but like, get off my dick. But you're the worst of them all, using him as a crutch for your own fragile ego, feeling important by deluding yourself into believing that the most powerful person in this kingdom needs you. The princess bent over and began to cough uncontrollably, struggling to cover her mouth with her handkerchief. When she spoke again, her voice was hoarse. The hero needs someone who can really understand him. Someone with the status and the abilities to support him. He doesn't need you. He's never needed you. She tried to find the words to respond, to defend herself, to refute the princess's claims. But she couldn't. Because a part of her thought that the princess was right. Look, she is on the right road, but she's taking the wrong turns. Like, yes, I also agree that you cannot tie your entire existence to being Sei's guardian, and that's fair, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, okay? And you're not leeching off of her, so she is half right, but she's not entirely right, and she's taking it in a very negative way to scare you off, so I feel it. I'm not. The princess coughed a couple more times. The hero is astute. I'm confident that he'll be able to sift through the refused... Okay, is she sick? And is that why he had, like, the blood cough, too? Is she, like, infecting him the way that she's being infected? Also, there was that whole thing... There's, like, a sickness or something going on. Because, also... you can hear the puzzles, like, clicking in my head. Rowan, or Lord Silva, my apologies, was, like, talking about how that guy was, like, healthy, like, a couple weeks ago, and then he was sick, and then he died. So it's like, is this what's happening? He'll be able to sit through the refuse to tell who's truly worthy of being by his side. Or just noble people getting sick? But there's one person that he'll never be able to turn away. The girl he grew up with, the one who protected him from miscreants, the only remnant of his childhood. The hero is strong, but even more than that, he's kind. Even if he had no blood left in his body, he still wouldn't pick off the leech siphoning his life away. The princess departed, leaving Shizu standing in that desolate garden alone. Was I mistaken? I told myself that Sei had been poisoned, even when he denied it. I told myself that the princess could have been responsible. I even told myself that someone might be plotting to assassinate Sei, maybe even the royal family. But what if I told myself that because I wanted to believe it? Shizu was the only one who saw him vomit blood. It was dark, and he was not facing her when it happened. Maybe she imagined it. Maybe she was desperately manufacturing delusions of danger, manufacturing excuses. Have I been making up reasons to stay? Have I been becoming a yandere without my knowledge? No. To stay here with him. I became the aegis because I wanted to protect him, but I didn't. His enemies were petulant children. I couldn't stand in front of him. He was the one standing in front of me. He was the one who got hurt. And every time he got hurt, all I could do was wait by his bedside and pray that he would open his eyes again. I'm useless to him now. I've been useless to him for a long time. Even in Vestala, all I did was weigh him down. I'm a burden. Okay, well, now you're overcorrecting. You're not that either. You're not his guardian. You're not a burden. You're his friend. You're somebody very precious in his life, and you're somebody worth loving. A lot of things have changed since we were children. He's not the little boy that I protected from bullies. He's the hero. He's strong. He has his own responsibilities and his own place in the world, a place that doesn't necessarily include me. Shizu forced a laugh through her lips, covering her eyes with a trembling hand. Was I always such an egotistical fool? When did my relationship with Sei become this ugly? After this gala is over, I'll leave the capital. That would probably be best for the both of us. And again, you're still thinking about him, like even when you're doing that. Shizu breathed deeply before exiting the garden, putting on a smile. This is for the best. It's for the best. You're lying to yourself. Is that... Shizu spotted a familiar young man. His reddish-brown hair was meticulously combed into a side part, without a hair out of place, and he was wearing the stiff... Oh, is it that fucking guy? Oh, no. Hi, Mage Allure. I haven't seen you since you were resigned. You're working for the royal family now? How long? Lady Aegis. He swung his arm up to salute before realizing his error, and awkwardly transitioning into a bow instead. I've been working in the palace for a few months now. Congratulations, that's quite the promotion. Thank you. You're managing some of the illuminations for the gala? Yes, sort of. It's a yes or no, isn't it? Yes, I am. He wrung his hands together. What's the matter? Nothing is the matter. The man waved his hands frantically. Is it something that I can help with? It's really nothing. Everything is under control. Completely under control. Hurry up and tell... Shizu stopped herself, recalling her conversation with Liam. I probably shouldn't say it like that. I'm not your superior anymore. I was trying to get you in trouble. I'm just a friend who wants to help if I can. Allure's shoulders visibly relaxed. Thank you very much, Lady Aegis. I was in charge of supervising the illuminations in some of the outer areas of the garden. They were okay during the day, but I didn't have time to double-check them at dusk, and when I went around to check them, just now, there are a few that are not quite right. There are too many to fix on my own on such a short notice. There aren't any mages on staff that can assist you? If I tell anyone about this, then I'm afraid that my tenure on the palace is very much finished. Why don't you show me? I was expecting something a little drab, a few dim lights perhaps, but this is downright horrifying. While the central areas of the garden only featured small, unobstructive illusions, some of the outer gardens contained much more elaborate shows. Some depicted gallant battles from days long ago, while others presented fantastical scenes from folk tales, known all over the kingdom. This garden was supposed to be a depiction of one of the most famous battles in Actalan history, the Battle of Terratum Field. Around a dozen men, some on horseback and some on foot, surrounded a giant bird-like nightmare. The key word was supposed. Many of the men were missing their heads, wandering around the bird like zombies. Some of them had extra arms or legs to compensate. A couple were suspended in the air like grotesque ragdolls. Several of the horses were positioned horizontally instead of vertically. This is like something out of, like the Hannibal, like scenes, like the elaborate, like, crime scenes in Hannibal? Is that what I'm thinking of the right one? I hope so. Vertically making them look quite deceased. The bird was not the castle-sized monstrosity it was in the history books. Instead, it was the size of a regular-sized pigeon, and it was missing one wing. What? The treacherous and valiant campaign against the terror of Terratum had transformed into this merciless bullying of a disabled bird by a legion of the undead and several actually dead horses. Shizu turned to Allure, who was trying very hard not to look directly at his handiwork. I am very sorry to trouble you. Don't feel too bad about it. Illuminations are completely different from the spells you are accustomed to using in combat, and they're no less complicated. I imagine very few mages are actually experienced with these enchantments. That said, I'm not either. I'll see what I can do, but I can't make any promises. Your offer was generous enough, Lady Aegis. As soon as Allure left, Shizu walked to the pedestal in the center of the area, waving away the headless corpses as she did so. She knelt down and tapped the stone. The magic circle lit up. Is she gonna, see something? At least half of these runes are written incorrectly. Allure really needs to review how to write magic circles. Did they just give him a formation copy with no explanations? If I had the documentation, it would just be faster to completely redo it, but I don't. She pinched between her brows and sighed. Guess I have no choice but to rewrite these misspelled ones, piecemeal, and see if that fixes things. I knew you didn't like parties, but I wasn't expecting you to go to such lengths to avoid socializing. What are you doing, hiding all the way out here? Liam sidled up beside her. He's always there. I'm not hiding. I'm doing a favor for Allure, that's all. He's in charge of the decorations in this area. You remember him, right? The mage that got reassigned from the ranged support until a little over a year ago? He got a position working at the palace. What? Really? That's fantastic. Liam's look of elation dissolved into incredulity as he looked around. He asked you to help with this debacle? He didn't ask, I offered. He agreed to have you help with this debacle? Well, it was his pride or his job. Liam sighed. I'll help. Should I take this part? He's so sweet. They began to work. A couple minutes later, Liam's mouth was already pursed into a frown. You don't have to help, really. I can handle this. I've got it. I'm out of practice, that's all. Liam was amazed, but he was primarily a close combatant. He rarely had the luxury of drawing intricate magic circles to perform complex spells. He flicked his fingers, dissolving the mess of his initial attempt to try again. They continued to work in silence for a few more minutes. No, we're not going to stay silent. We need to talk about it. Oh, he's so cute. Get the fuck out of here. You're making me mad. So that was a pretty surprising announcement, wasn't it? Or did you already know about the engagement? Well, he scratched the back of his neck sheepishly. It's not as if I actually knew, but, well, I could tell that things were probably going to head in that direction. You and me! You and me! Both. Did you feel... He stopped himself mid-sentence. Jealous, was what I was going to ask. What did you think? I felt... worried. I'm a little worried. From what I could tell, he never even flirted with girls before, and now he's suddenly engaged to be married to a woman that he's known for around a month? The princess, no less. It's not my place, but I can't help but feel a little anxious. That's understandable. I'm honestly worried, too. I doubt that this is an entirely independent decision, but I never thought that he would actually agree to it. And from what I've seen of the princess, she doesn't seem like someone that he would get along with. You're right. She covered her face with her hands and groaned. What am I even saying? Am I overbearing? I am, aren't I? Well, yeah, but that's your thing. Did something happen? What's got your hair in a knot? No, we're gonna tell him the whole truth. It's fine. The princess came to talk to me after the announcement. She said that the hero doesn't need me, that he's not a little boy that I need to protect anymore, that I'm doing say no good by staying in the capital. Liam scowled. My man. That little. The next time I see... No, you can't do that. Don't. Shizu sighed. She was harsh, but she wasn't wrong. No, she was wrong. Recently, I've been thinking about leaving Meralt. What? You are? I don't have any reason to stay. I became the Aegis so that I could help Sei, but Sei is the hero. He doesn't need me. I can't do anything for him. It's probably time for me to move on. And you want that? I don't want to be a burden on him. I know Sei, and I know how he is with you. He definitely doesn't think that. He cares about you. If you suddenly vanished, he would tear his hair out with worry. Yeah, he would. I won't try to convince you not to go, but at least talk to him first. All right, I will. Liam smiled reassuringly. If you still decide to leave after that, then at least consider a position in Favomere. I can promise you stellar seafood. You and seafood! Wait. If you decide to leave... No, I won't. I'll think about it. That's a promise. If you interview with the other ducal houses before us, then I won't forgive you. Shizu chuckled before putting her hands down. I finally finished. Wait. His eyes narrowed as they bore holes into the magic formation. The glowing runes hastily rewrote and rearranged themselves in a mad scramble. Okay, done too. He slapped a hand on his circle, and one bright flash of light later, and the pair was surrounded by a revised light display. Shizu praised their handiwork. One of the soldiers was sitting in the wrong way around on his horse, but other than that, the display seemed inoffensive. Good enough. She stood and brushed dirt from her skirt. Liam, thank you. For what? Offering my mediocre magic circle repair services? You're very welcome. I'll accept payment in the form of a smile on your face. Thank you very much. I usually hate when guys are like, oh, you're so much prettier when you smile, but I know his comes from like a real place. The corners of Shizu's mouth quirked upward. I'll see if I can find Sei to offer my congratulations and talk with him. Liam grinned before leaving the garden. Shizu clenched her fist against her chest. After the conversation, some of the bitterness from her encounter with the princess had dissipated. Oh! Before I leave, I'll talk to him one more time. I wonder where he could be. Uh-oh. I had a feeling something like this was going to happen. A bolt of light ripped the night sky in two. As it ascended, it ruptured, illuminating the upper atmosphere like a sea of white flames. Shizu thrust her arms forward, hastily spinning a barrier. A few moments later, she shuddered as the waves of magic flowed past her. They gushed past her shoddily constructed shield and permeated her skin, leaving a slight tingling sensation in their wake. This magic. She dropped the shield and started to run. It feels like Sei's. Oh, are they, like, controlling him to, like, go against her? Because that would make a lot of sense, too, and why he's being, like, so cold and weird towards us. So talking to him probably isn't going to do anything but reassure us that that's what's going on. She didn't need to search. The trail of magic was as easy to follow as the smoke from a wildfire. She sprinted past numerous partygoers, many of whom were trying to regain their footing and looking curiously in direction of the explosion. And they're trying to turn, like, the hero into the villain? Oh. Before long, she found the source of the magic, a small area of the garden sheltered from prying eyes. The residue of mana was still falling back to earth like particularly luminous snow. Sei was kneeling on the ground. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Genuinely, oh, no. Sei was kneeling on the ground. However, Shizu's eyes weren't drawn to him. Instead, her eyes were drawn to the person in his arms. The princess was lying there. Sei propped up her head and torso so they wouldn't touch the ground. She has a mark on her arm. Damiana wasn't moving. She's dead. She's dead for sure. Ain't no fucking way. And that makes a lot of sense, too. Did they frame him to, like, do all this? Shizu might have considered that she had somehow fainted. She might have, if she hadn't seen the princess's face, which was barely visible past the rivulets of blood dripping out of every orifice. It was frozen in an expression of contorted agony. Sei looked up at Shizu. What do I do? But... Huh? No, it's the end! Ah! Oh my god. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a peaceful kingdom. For many years, the citizens lived in harmony. However, one day this tranquility was shattered. Nightmares, ink-black beast of corruption. We've read this. Wherever they want, they spread the blight. The kingdom attempted to fight back, but the attacks only became more ferocious. One day, a hero appeared. Possessing a near-immortal body, he vanquished them, finally out of sight. And yet, even, he did not waver. For 3 days and 3 nights, the hero returned to the capital city, victorious. This is such a strong reuse of it as well. Little miss, you're still here. You must have enjoyed the play. I did. Such a tale of valor and such a perfect ending. Oh, was it a perfect ending? It's not? Perhaps it is, perhaps it's not. For you see, what if the hero wasn't a hero at all? What if he was actually a monster? Oh my god! I have to recollect my thoughts. God damn it. And now, I'm just, okay. My thought process is, the simplest way I can put this right now is, I do not dislike Sei, and I do not dislike his relationship with Shizu, but the way that it's going is that Shizu is going to only be hurt by being with Sei. Like, the longer she's with him, the more, like, disruptive it is to her life, you know? And, like, just, and I get it, but he also needs to learn some sort of independence from her as well. And it's like, it's not even unhealthy in the way of, like, no one's doing it purposefully. It's just how it kind of is just happening. Oh, God. Dude. I'm so, like, Jesus. I don't know. That's a great way to end it, because it's like, where the fuck is that gonna go? Like, now she can't leave. Now, like, are they gonna go on the run? Or, like, what's gonna happen? How do the routes play into this fucking shit? Like, there's just too many questions. I, wow. Okay, well, I guess, I mean, I pretty much said my thoughts through the whole thing. But just to summarize them, just to put them in a nice, neat little package, is that I fucking love this game. I had a great time with it, fully. I know I do need to probably, I'm not going to do it now because I'm a little tired, but I'll probably go back and do the fave parts that I didn't do, because I guess those are the two that you can see extra scenes of. I'll go back and do those, and then I can kind of just set this down and wait like everybody else is waiting right now for it. I'm so glad that I took the time to play it. I had an even better time than I could have really realized. Like, I did not understand. Karamu better helped me understand, like, how talented you are, but this is definitely the best project out of the two. Like, I don't even think you can compare them, because they have, like, different amounts of effort put in, like, not different amounts of effort, like, one is supposed to be like this epic waving, tale, and the other one was supposed to be just kind of like a one-off thing that happens, and they're both very, very good. But this, like, and I expected Actala to be good when I picked it up, but I wasn't expecting it to be pretty masterful in like a lot of key ways. Like, I'm glad that I did like a recording of it as well, because putting all my thoughts down right now and leaving in a review, I don't know if I can, like, without writing like a novel. And there's just so many threads left, but yet I feel really good with like where Shizu's going with at least like some of the routes, specifically Faye and Liam. Like, and they're the perfect people for her to lean on, because they also are aware of Sei and know him and know Shizu. When it comes to Hugh and Rowan, I don't know exactly how those routes are really going to play out. They're going to feel very separated from the story, but you're really good at storytelling, so I have a feeling that you're going to be able to tie them in very well as well. So Damiana pissed me off, but I don't necessarily think she's coming from a bad place in some ways. Like, she really might actually genuinely care for Sei, and I can't tell. But she could also just be like his demise, like it could kind of go both ways. Maybe it's a mixture of the two. I don't know. But I definitely think there's like a third party going on. There's a bunch of shit just happening. And like, it's been proven that some of these nobles are being like really sneaky about it. And there's something bigger going on for sure, obviously. And you've illustrated that, and I am hooked. I have to know what happens. There's no world in which I don't want to know what happens. And it was just structured really well, and the story was really cute and fun and dramatic and interesting, and it was a little bit of everything. Like, I got a really solid, well-rounded tale here, and you've made a permanent fan of me, honestly, because I'm just loving the fuck out of everything I've been reading. And I'm glad that I was able to record it, and that they didn't get fucking destroyed in the process, so that was also great. And I'm glad that, I mean, I'm still sad about the lost Karamu episode, I'm not gonna lie, but this makes me feel a lot better about it, at least. I'm glad I was able to experience the story, like, genuinely. I'm so thankful, and even more grateful to be your friend, even in a small capacity, and for you to have read Tattoos and Tulips, and, and find some merit in it, because, like, something this great, like, the creator of something this great liking my stuff in even a small capacity is forever very honoring, and I will not take it for granted, or take you for granted, in being my friend, like, genuinely. So yeah, enough with the mushy stuff. I'm gonna leave a big rating, and I don't know what my review is gonna consist of. It'll probably just be like, watch my videos and you'll know everything I need to say. I might just link it there, actually, so other people can watch it if they want to. But yeah, I hope this was as entertaining for you to watch me react to all this shit as it was for me to read it, because I had a fucking great time. I'm forever a Liam stan. As he is right now, he is literally perfect in my mind. Like, I wouldn't change a single thing about him. And I do like Faye too, but there's a couple things that I'm a little, like, not sure of. But he's my second. Sei, I'm actually more excited to learn more about Rowan. I like that most recent thing he did with the Duke. Like, he's edgy as fuck, which is something that's kind of like, I kind of just want to keep my distance from characters like that, but I don't know, he seems kind of fun. I like his character design. So I think he would be my third of like excited to play and see his route. Hugh is higher than Say for me right now because I'm just really not mad at Say, but I just like I really don't think his route is what is good for Shizu. Like I don't. Like as we are right now where we stand, I just want Shizu to not tie herself to his identity because that's pretty much what it is right now. And that doesn't make me happy. Like it doesn't. It makes me scared. But that could change, and your storytelling is so good that there's a good chance that a couple more scenes with Say and picking up, you'll be able to win my heart back, basically. Because I really did like him when I started out as well. So I don't really dislike anybody. Like I joke that I don't like Hugh, but it's just because I don't know his intentions and I can't trust him at all right now. And we really haven't had a one-on-one scene with him. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm really tired. Thank you, and see you in another video, I guess.